Hello and welcome to the Tosca Yachts channel. My name is Daryl Collins and I am the owner and director of Tosca Yachts. We are a boat building company based here in Cape Town, sunny South Africa. And in today's video, I would like to introduce to you our two Tosca 40 models, the center cockpit and after cockpit version. And in today's video, I'll be walking you through both versions, showing you all the awesome features the boats have and what they have to offer. So currently in South Africa, there are no boat builders building blue water cruisers. And so Tosca Yachts, we've decided that we would like to reintroduce a South African built, ocean going, cruising blue water cruiser for the local and international market. Because all your boat builders here in South Africa currently build either monohull racing boats or catamarans. As you know, the catamaran market is very saturated, and so we've decided to go the monohull route. And with the exciting future of introducing a 50-foot Tosca, which is currently in development. And yes, eventually we will introduce a Tosca catamaran. The size is yet to be decided exactly, but we're looking at a 38-footer, something a little bit smaller than what most people are building. But we believe that a 38-foot is a good size if designed well, and is more than capable of doing ocean crossings and blue water cruising. Right, let's jump into it. I'm going to show you the two models. Okay, first we'll be introducing the Tosca 40 center cockpit version. Both versions will have a fixed bimini with an enclosed cockpit area, making sailing and long distance cruising an absolute pleasure and safe and dry and warm. The windows will have front access hatches so that you can get ventilation flowing through the cockpit on those very sunny, warm days. There will be two hatches on the bimini itself as well. And the middle section of the bimini will have a fairly large cutout that will be retractable. This will then obviously just allow for if you want the sun in the cockpit, and for additional ventilation on those beautiful sunny days at anchor. The back of the cockpit is raised to give you the really good headroom inside the aft cabin. The aft cabin has nice panoramic windows, letting in a lot of natural light, making the cabin very light and open planned. We've opted for a single helm system on the boat, and just for ease of design I just put a compass on the top, but there will be a proper a pedestal with full navigational display for your chart plotters and wind speed and depth and all the modern electronics. So that's not what the final pedestal will look like, but just for the sake of modeling the boat, that's what I put in. But it will have a proper electronic station with the helm. You'll be able to control winches and everything from this helm, because the winches, 3 of the winches will be electronic, your 2 primary back winches, and then your one of the winches will be electric in the front for controlling the main halyard and spinnaker halyards, etc. We've also opted to go hydraulic on the steering. This also eliminates a lot of space wastage and allows for easy maintenance. It reduces the chances of things breaking while out at sea. Hydraulic system is a very reliable and strong system with very little to go wrong. We've also gone with a skeg hung rudder system as opposed to a twin or a spade rudder, purely because we just feel the skeg hung rudder is a safer option for ocean cruising. we just see more and more people with stories who have had a spade rudder system. You see it on the news and on YouTube, and when those boats hit something out at sea or they get attacked by an orca, 9 times out of 10 they are left completely rudderless, and in some extreme cases actually lost the boat due to the rudder post actually ripping out completely and leaving a giant gaping hole in the boat. Touching on that, the rudder post runs inside a watertight bulkhead. So you've got basically this bulkhead that runs along here, which separates the aft cabin from the rudder system. And so should, God forbid, anything happen where you lose your rudder completely or you've had an impact from something from behind, this complete area in the back is a watertight bulkhead. And the same with the front where the anchor and chain is. This is, let's get a bird's eye view here quickly for you. This whole section here in front is a watertight bulkhead containing the chain and anchor and windlass. And so that doubles up as a collision bulkhead. Fin, we've gone, keel, we've gone with a fin keel. The keel is lead, not iron. We see a lot of modern boats going with an iron keel. This leaves room for a lot of problems in terms of maintenance. Iron and salt water do not like each other, whereas lead keels can pretty much be left alone without much problem. Our propulsion system, we have gone and decided to go with the shaft drive systems as opposed to sail drive systems. And this also boils down to a maintenance point of view and safety point of view. I mean, sail drives are really, really nice. But again, also if your electrics are not correct on the boat, and if you do not monitor your anodes, the sail drive section that is in the water can deteriorate and corrode very, very quickly. And also the only thing stopping the ocean from pouring into your boat is a rubber seal around the sail drive. And so if that is penetrated or damaged, and as you know, these accidents happen, and they don't happen during the day, they happen at 3 o'clock in the morning. And so we've just opted for the shaft driven system. It's a proven system. It's been around for as long as we've been alive almost, and yeah, it's easy and simple to maintain, and so that's the system we've opted for. When it comes to your sails, the boat will have a bowsprit. Although it's not on the design, but it will come with the bowsprit, allowing you to fly spinnakers and jenicas and all the other asymmetric stuff sails. The mainsail will be the boat will come standard with a mainsail stack back system, and so when you manually bring the main down, it will fold away into the stack back system. With an optional upgrade of upgrading to an infill boom system. We use Sparcraft, and they've got a really nice infill boom system, allowing you to electrically hoist and bring the mainsail down. We're going to stay away from in-mast fill systems because they just give way too many problems. And when you're out at sea in heavy winds, in the middle of nowhere, and your main system jams halfway, there is literally no way for you to bring that mainsail down, and which can create a very dangerous situation. So we have stayed away from that. And by having an infill boom system, if you choose to go that upgrade, whether that system gives a problem or not, you will still be able to bring the mainsail down manually and tie it up, should that be an issue. But the infill boom system is a far more reliable system than its mast counterpart. Boat will also come stand with a roller furler Genoa, with the option of upgrading to an electric roller furler system, should you wish to go that route. We've got lovely big saloon windows that run along the whole side of the boat. Two nice big hatches for the saloon and heads area, and then two big hatches for the forward cabin and for the aft cabin as well. In this watertight area, there will be storage available for your fenders and mooring lines, etc. And right, let's do this. So your cockpit is obviously a center cockpit with a fairly deep well, not too deep, but making the cockpit very, very safe in all weather conditions, very comfortable, very dry. You're not going to get very wet in this boat unless you have to go to the front somewhere in a storm, which is unlikely because all your running rigging is going to come through to the boat. Especially if you've got the infill boom system, you won't have to go to the mast at all, even to put in reefs. If you've got the boom stack pack system, then obviously you would have to go and physically, put the reef in on the main. But otherwise, all your lines are going to run through to your cockpit. You're going to have two primary electric winches for your Genoa system, and a electric winch for your main halyards and spinnaker halyards in the front. And there's an option to add a fourth electric winch to the other side, but I don't think it's necessary. The helm system, like I said, we're going single helm, single rudder. The helm system will obviously have a proper pedestal with the electronics panel to house all your your autopilot, your chart plotter. So basically everything you'll have access to everything electric on this panel. You'll be able to operate the winches if need be, being single-handed, or if you're on shift on loan, you will be able to access everything from your helm and not have to run around the boat to do anything. So that'll make sailing short-handed or single-handed very, very easy. What else is there for the outside? The railings, we've gone with a fixed railing system for the top rail, making it very, very safe and strong and sturdy to hang on to if you have to go to the front of the boat. The middle line will be your standard stainless steel cable, and then you obviously will have your safety line around the sides of the boat. But we don't see many sailboats with a fixed stainless steel rail system, so we've opted to do that to make the boat extra safe. There will obviously be options for you to add in what they call granny bars around the mast, should you wish to do so. That's an optional extra. But yeah, we've designed the deck in a way that it's nice and flat and safe, so you're not having to climb over really rounded edges. I see a lot of boats with these kind of very round coach roofs, and it just makes life very difficult in heavier seas, or even if there's a decent swell running. You want to be standing as flat as possible, making your life a little bit easier on the boat. Also, just gives you far more space, that we call boat real estate, which is really, really nice. There will also be a cockpit table in the cockpit over here. It will be a foldable table so that you can obviously get out and around, but there will be a table here, and you will have access to the engine room from here. So there will be a section of this floor that will open up to gain access to the engine from the top, and you'll have access to the engine from both cabins and in front of the stairs. So plenty of engine room access. And yeah, let's have a look. Let's have a look now on the inside of the boat. Okay, so this is the center cockpit interior for the Tosca 40 center cockpit. And so I will just run through this with you. So in the front, we've obviously got the forward double berth cabin, cupboard for your clothing and hanging up stuff. Inside the bedding, the forward berth, there's obviously storage in there. And there's the front locker I told you about. That's a watertight locker for the chain. Seating area, which can also be configured into another cupboard, depending on what your personal preferences. But for this model, we've just put the seating in there. You can sit and chill and read a book, or if you need to sit and put your wet weather gear on, there's a spot, place for that. In the saloon area, you've got a very spacious saloon with table. This table will be able to drop down, turning this saloon area into a large double bed. The boat only has one heads, and so we've gone with one nice big spacious large heads, with your shower and toilet and basin. This nice big walk-in shower. Your galley will be on the starboard side, and I just want to talk a bit about this space. So the galley, this space in between the galley and the aft cabin, there are a few things that we can do here, which is why I've kind of left this section open, because this can be turned into whatever you really want it to be. There are a few options. We can extend the galley, basically kind of maybe to like halfway, maybe giving you more galley space. There can be then space for a dishwasher and washing machine. You could also turn this into like a workstation if you wanted to, with a little desk and a chair. So yeah, there are options for this area, which is why I've kind of left it not undesigned, but kind of open for as an option, because this bulkhead is not structural. We can move this bulkhead and basically simply extend this galley, giving you a lot more galley space. On the port side is your navigation station, chart table. In here, we can, in this space, there will be a number of things we can do here, but for now it would probably be just some kind of maybe like a wet locker storage for your sailing gear. Nice and spacious nav station. Will have all your chart plotters and all your navigation equipment, everything you need to do to plan your voyage and check on things. Electrics for the boats will all be here. On the port side, we have turned this into this will be your walk-in technical locker. So basically all the major systems of the boat will be in here, from your battery systems to your electric systems, your water systems, water heating systems, your pressure pumps, your water maker system. So this room will be fairly large, and will have all the major systems in one place. And being a walk-in will give you lots of space and access to get everything in terms of maintenance. Will make your life a lot easier. Engine room, self-explanatory. The fuel tank for the engine will also be fitted inside here, mounted on brackets. Then your big spacious aft cabin, double bed, giving you ample of space and privacy. Again, this, we can customize the cupboards and stuff, but this is essentially your basic layout. This will all be cupboard space and storage space, as well as under the bed, and on the side as well, lots of cupboard and hanging space for all your stuff. There are other options that we can, with things like TV, we can put a TV in the room. So those, optional extras. Otherwise, you'll have your TV in the saloon, which we can mount either there, or you can mount it there. it's kind of really up to you what you want to do with the space, and we're very open to customization to obviously to a point. Then, like I said, your so this is where your this is the watertight bulkhead and where your rudder stock will be, as well as storage for mooring lines and fenders and stuff. So yeah, that's the interior of the Tosca 40 center cockpit in a nutshell. In terms of finishing, with the vast range of wood and wood veneering available to us in the industry, there is a fairly large range of customization in terms of wood finish that can be done to the boat for you. So if you want something very kind of like cottage feel, light and finish, we can go that route. There's many wood options available. So that's all things that we will discuss with you in the kind of the design phase. Once you decide that you want yourself a Tosca, we can sit down and discuss all of that stuff, which is nice. Yeah. So customization in terms of finish, there are a lot of options for yourself, so you can really make the boat your own. All right, let's again, if you have any questions, leave a comment in the description, below. Leave a comment below, and I will answer all your questions. But let's go on to the aft cockpit version of the Tosca. Okay, and this is the Tosca 40 aft cockpit version. The layout is very much the same. All that really is different for this boat is obviously the cockpit setup and the cabin setup in the inside. So let's just take the bimini away so that you guys can see what the cockpit looks like. All right, so oops, sorry. So the aft cockpit, you've got a lot of space for the aft cockpit, giving you plenty of comfortable seating area. And again, the aft cockpit is completely covered, with a solid bimini and fixed windows, so giving you plenty of protection from the elements while sailing and cruising. And again, you will have window ports that you can open on the main windows, as well as your two hatches on top of the bimini. Seating area is plentiful. Another thing I didn't mention in the Tosca 40 center cockpit version, but for both versions of the boat, one of the options for both boats is the synthetic teak, which will look it'll look really nice on these boats. So that is an optional extra for the boat, but the boat will come standard with a gel coat, white gel coat deck with non-skid. So the aft cockpit version offers all that the center cockpit version does, except that it's obviously a aft cockpit version. Single helm, the same setup, spade hung rudder, fin keel, shaft driven, offering all the other, exactly the same as the center cockpit. All your rigging will come to all your running will come to the cockpit as usual. So that's what you would look like. Again, with your optional extras, upgrading to a infill boom system for the main, electric for the rotofurler. Those are all your optional upgrades. Electric winches will be standard, like I said a little bit earlier. We'll have a quick look now at the interior, just so you can see the difference in layout for the aft cockpit version of the boat. Again, fixed railing as well for the boats, making the boat extremely safe under passage. Okay. Okay, so this is the aft cockpit interior for the Tosca 40 aft cockpit version. As you can see, the layout is pretty much the same up until the aft cabins. So you've got basically two double berths for the aft cabins, as opposed to a single center owner's version cabin. The space just doesn't allow for it on the 40-foot. So we've gone for two side cabins. Also, again, a single heads, a very spacious single heads and shower, and then your U-shaped galley. Another thing to mention in both versions of the boat, and it's something that we see a lot of boats, modern boats, don't have, is a lot of handrails and stuff. So in this boat there will be safety rails. All over the place. You'll have a safety, you'll have two safety rails along the ceiling, and just because of the space of the boat, you will have areas to grab onto. So you'll have a safety rail perhaps on this bulkhead here, coming down from the cockpit. You'll have grab rails somewhere in the rooms as well, so that there will always be something to hold on to, no matter where you are, inside or outside of the boat, making it very safe for ocean passage and for heavy seas. Yeah. So that's pretty much the layout. Again, the saloon table will be able to drop down, making this into a double berth. So essentially you could sleep 8 people on this boat relatively comfortably if you had guests and you needed to. The engine room will obviously be a bit larger in this aft cockpit version, so you could house a lot of your systems in here, fuel tanks, and alternatively some of the systems will be in this area. So your technical locker area will be in here with the engine, and both this locker and the engine will be accessible from the sides and from the cockpit. There'll be quite a large area at the back of the boat, where you can store your water toys and fenders, mooring lines, etc. It's also a watertight bulkhead like on the center cockpit version, so any collisions from the front or back, you will have those 2 compartments that will basically keep your boat safe and dry. Okay. Yeah, if you have any questions, please leave a comment, or you can email me or WhatsApp me or call me. We'd love to hear from you guys. And if you're interested in buying a Tosca, again, all our details are in the description below. We can discuss pricing and all of that from there. Okay. Thanks again for watching. Well, that's it. Thanks again for tuning into the channel. I appreciate your time and for watching the video. And if you are one of those who are interested in looking at buying a solid, strong built ocean going cruiser for your dreams of sailing around the world, and the Tosca appeals to you, we would love to hear from you. Leave a comment down below. In the description below are our details, your email and web address and contact numbers. Feel free to give us a call and ask any questions and for more information. We would love to hear from you. Thanks again, and see you in the next video.